Good morning, everybody. I just want to share with you, as part of the business strategy, is what strategy is short term, mid term, and long term, and what the concept of strategy is in terms of looking at a business, looking at an industry. So, strategy is a pattern, a plan that integrates organizations' major goals, objectives, policies, and then convert that into action with the sequences of steps to make that strategy a whole. So that's really the strategy is in terms of how you move forward. Next is the strategy is a process. Is a process of how you can create a strategy based on your vision, analyze that strategy, dream about that strategy, formulate some different options, and then implement that strategy, and then make any changes that you need to do as you move along, and then try to control the process of strategy implementation. There are three major dimensions of strategy process. The first one is the creative thinking, the logic of how the strategy came about. The second is the strategy formulation in terms of how that will become a more deliberate way of doing business. And the third is if you going to make wholesale changes like a big revolution type thing, from scratch, or you're going to evolve as you get to know a little bit more, little bit more. So the revolution is kind of a wholesale changes. Evolution is step by step process. One of the key issues is about how sustainable your strategy is going to be in terms of a product or service. Do you offer any prescriptions for that to move forward with this? How you bring those strategies into your main corporate goals and objectives? Is it unique for just certain segments of the population, your target market those? Is it really wholesale changes? You're coming up with a new product. Are you learning still in the process of making sure that strategy is developed as you move along? Do you have enough knowledge to control that strategy? How you organize that strategy yourself and others? Is it intellectual capital where you cannot let other people do that and steal your intellectual property? Is it impact the economy, and how this strategy is going to be implemented and experimented? The breakthrough strategies means that you're seizing control of your industry, coming up with something very new, like when the internet came or when the digital watches came. These are paradigm shifts. These are called breakthrough strategies. The strategy intent or strategic intent is what the timeline you have, by the time you have an idea and by the time you effectively put it into operations. Discovering driven planning, Discovery driven planning, and that is what are some of the key assumptions you are making about the economy, about your business, about the industry, and then how you convert all of those key assumptions into a new venture or new knowledge, and then how you're going to stay focused on that strategy. There are certain shortcomings also, and some strategies can backfire if you don't have enough data. If your data is have no meaning in terms of how it's going to be implemented, uh, you may have some soft data, but you may not have hard data. And then, what are some of the key variables that could change without even you noticing it? Perspective on strategies as a puzzle, as a dilemma, as a trade-off, a paradox. A paradox is basically means you are still not sure. It may be workable, but it may not be. So it's like a dilemma. It's like a metaphor of certain things. So paradox is you are still in a kind of a limbo, and of course you need to reflect on how this strategy was designed, who made the choices, how this growth is going to continue, and how it's going to evolve. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Albert Einstein said that you need to come up with imaginations, visions. That is more important than the knowledge you have to achieve that imagination. Plans are nothing, planning is everything. So you can have a plan, and if you don't implement that plan with a good planning process, then it's for nothing. It's a mistake to look too far ahead, only one link of a chain at a time to get to your destiny that you want. All right, so this is kind of like a just an FYI for you guys to understand that strategy is very important part of a business that you need to have.